Now, just on The Voice, I keep seeing the No campaigners put up so much misleading information. I won't bore you with it all now, but honestly, most of what is being fed to people about the fears and the threats of The Voice is absolute nonsense, and I think most of the people peddling it realise that. But I just, on the topic last night, saw Paul Murray interviewed Jacinta Nampijinpa Price. That was last night, of course, and she's, of course, one of the more prominent political opponents of The Voice. And Paul asked her a ripping question, as is his wont. He asked Senator Nampijinpa Price what she would do if the coalition successfully defeated the referendum, successfully killed off the Voice idea. What would be her new focus the next day? And have a listen to the answer.
There are many community members across the country that have ideas for improving circumstances on the ground. Grassroots, we're talking grassroots individuals here. You know, again, I don't know how many times I've talked about the Yiparinya School here in Alice Springs that takes care of our most marginalised kids, but they've got a proposal on the table. I would suggest to Minister Burney that the first thing she does is make sure that that proposal is finally actually funded. Because that issue is being kicked down that issue has been kicked down the road. It's not being dealt with immediately. As I've been travelling around the country and speaking to Indigenous groups around the country, they put in front of me, you know, what their proposals are for a lot of the issues that they're confronted with, and they're really common sense ideas. Their problem is they can't get a meeting with the Minister for Indigenous Australians because she travels to communities and speaks to bureaucracies as opposed to grassroots individuals. So I would be amplifying the voices of those individuals immediately afterward, and I'd continue to engage with them to fight and advocate on their behalf.
Now, that's a good answer, as you'd expect from Jacinta. Tackle Indigenous problems in practical ways with direct input from Indigenous people at the grassroots, people in the communities affected who know what's missing and know what might work. That's a good approach. And that happens to be exactly what The Voice is designed to do. Jacinta Nampijinpa Price just described exactly the rationale for the Indigenous voice to Parliament. And that's why it's such a tragedy for this nation that the coalition decided to oppose this idea rather than muck in and make sure it works.